Welcome to the Build a Purposeful, Profitable Business Doing What You Absolutely Love podcast, hosted weekly by Ange, your business fairy godmother, professional copywriter, published author and business owner of 20 years. In every episode, Ange will deliver useful bite-sized insights to help you find your voice, position your value, demystify the marketing tech, and run your business on your terms.
Okay, welcome to this episode. I'm just so excited this week to be interviewing Annelise Worn. She's a CEO of a highly successful marketing agency, and she supports women to transform their business to discover the profit and freedom they started it to achieve. Her true passion lies in developing and implementing efficient, effective, high-converting marketing strategies that actually move the needle. Now, today I'm going to be talking to Annelise about running your Facebook ads and what you should know about going into doing all of that. So, Annelise, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit more to the listeners, just in case I didn't do you justice.
No, you definitely did. But yes, my name is Annelise, and I live in Australia, down the bottom. And about 3.5 years ago, yes, my husband and I started a marketing agency. And then we were working primarily with trades. We also have 3 young children. So at the moment, they range from 2 to 7. And I would speak to a lot of other mums who wanted what we had, which was we created a business that my husband and I could work from home around the kids that, paid the bills and, and gave us the lifestyle that we wanted. But for a lot of these women, paying an agency or even a good freelancer for things like Facebook ads just was not achievable, because as a freelancer, I was charging $1,500 a month just for ads, not web development, not the actual ads themselves. And so I started a marketing mentor program that helped women to DIY their own Facebook ads and marketing. And so I love talking about this because I'm so passionate about helping people stop just donating to Facebook, not knowing what they're doing, which is so easy to do, but Facebook doesn't need our money. And so if we're going to be doing Facebook ads, you don't have to be paying someone $1,500 a month to do it. You can learn how to do this by looking, just starting slowly and knowing what to look for. So, yay.
Excellent. Yes, I mean, that's what we're here for, because as you're right, you need to be doing it in a way that you're not wasting your money. And you want to really, I think a lot of the listeners here, and I myself, I was the same. I just wanted control of my own marketing. I didn't want to be outsourcing it to agencies. And you're right, it's something it's learnable, and we're all intelligent people and we can learn these things, right? Yeah. So let's get started then with really when a reason for them doing Facebook ads in the first place. What should they know about actually putting a Facebook ad up, and what's the do's and don'ts in terms of putting an ad up?
Yes. All right. So if you are going to run a Facebook ad, you want to have some idea that what you have is working, or be going into it with the mindset that you are buying data. Because a lot of people go into it and go like, oh, perfect, I'm just going to sell my product or get people to sign up to my webinar or whatever it is. And they've never tried that funnel before. They've never tried that sales technique before, so they don't know if it's going to work. And if you're putting money into something that you've never tested before, then it is just a test. And yes, you will probably get something out of it, but you need to then think, okay, I'm spending this X amount of money just to see what happens with the data. So if you're going into it with that frame of mind, you've got low expectations, you will be happy. The second thing I would say is we don't want to be boosting posts. Now, I know this is when a lot of people kind of hang their head in shame, and don't worry, I did it too. And we don't want to be boosting posts, and we're going to get into a bit more of the nitty-gritty. But the short of it is, if you are just pressing boost on a post, then Facebook is doing with your money what it wants to. And it is showing your ad where it wants to, depending how much guidance you give it around targeting. It's showing to who it wants to, when it wants to. And it is probably not allocated towards the outcome that you want, which is either a conversion or, a video view. Kind of, you haven't told Facebook what it is that you actually want from this ad. So if you you go.
Is that like, can I liken that to maybe like a newspaper ad where you've put the ad in the newspaper and maybe that ad is targeted to a certain demographic, right? But everybody reads the newspaper. So not everybody seeing that ad is going to want what you've got. Is that the same principle? So if you're just boosting it, you're just boosting it to whoever's got eyes, right?
Yeah, similar. Or Facebook will put it down in the right-hand corner where no one's actually going to look at it. And you might get more views, you might get more likes, but it's like ego boosting, going, yay, like 20 people liked this in an hour. And that's not going to get us money in the bank. We need to be more strategic. We need to have a plan, which isn't just, I want this in front of more eyeballs. There's only maybe one circumstance where I would say it's okay, and that's if you want to get a message out to the people that already follow you, that are already, you can then say, Facebook, I want my audience, people who've engaged with me in the last 30 days, to see this more, because we know our organic reach is pretty terrible. At the moment, maybe approximately 10% is our organic reach. So if we are running a paid event or something and we know that our followers will like to see that, then boost it and just make it to your people. But if we would like to grow our business, if we want more leads, we need a different strategy.
Right. Okay. So what should they be putting up on the ads then? What should the ads be targeting to do?
Yeah. So and I don't know I wish I could attribute this, but I heard it a while ago and I don't know who said it, was that marketing, we want a second date. And if our first date, we are talking all about ourselves, there's not going to be a second date.
Right.
So the first thing that we are putting out there to our cold audience, which is the people that we think are going to be our perfect prospect, this is going to be age, demographic, interest-based, then what we're putting out to them needs to be giving them something without talking about us. Like if we have a torch, the torch is shining on our client. We are offering them something that is helping them to, in the same kind of area, of course, in our area of expertise, we're offering something, 5 tips to do this. Here's a checklist for that. We're giving them something, a video that is answering a question.
Right. So you're giving value basically.
We're giving value. And this could just be, even not in exchange for, Angela, even just here is an article on the top 5 ways to get your child excited about wearing glasses. Like whatever it is, it's just a blog post or something to get them engaging with your brand so that they now know they kind of know a bit about what you're about, and they like you because you haven't asked for anything.
Right.
And then we can retarget. So then we can run an ad to people who have engaged with our page and engaged with our website. And then we can tell them a bit more and, ask for something in return, like an email address or something like that. But we're only then.
That first ad will go out and just give them something of value for free and expect nothing in return. There's no email, there's nothing. And then you retarget them. And then that's where you want an engagement to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. And because that way, so you can run a traffic ad at the start or a video view ad, depending on what it is, an ad that isn't a conversion ad. And then it's going to be cheaper. And so you're filtering that cold audience. The only people that watch your videos 75% or more, the only people that read your article, the only people that engage with that are going to be the people that are looking for that solution now. So then when you're using the Facebook pixel, and this is getting a bit more technical for what we have time for, but we can retarget and show ads just to those people who've engaged with us in the last X amount of time. And that way we're saving every dollar that we possibly can, because we're not wasting conversion ads. We're not wasting time on people trying to get an email address from people who are never going to be interested. We're only asking for something and showing our offer to people we know are interested because they watched the video or they read the article. So like they're our people.
Yeah.
And so in that way, it's a bit more structured. They like you more. The trust is more. You're paying less on ads, and you'll have a high conversion rate for that email address or whatever it is, because you're not wasting money on the people who are, you know, don't have that problem that you're solving right now.
Right. Okay, cool. Okay. And then what would you say would be a realistic budget for somebody advertising on Facebook? How much money should they be putting aside onto something? And should they test it at low budget first and then go up? Or
I would test it at a low budget first. And you can start with as little as $5 a day, but you just have to know that that's all the data that you're going to be getting. So if you want an email address, you're probably going to get an email address for between, and I'm talking Australian dollars here, so actually it's probably US as well, anywhere kind of between like $3 and $7. So if you think I want one email address a day, well, then you have to spend between $3 and $7. If you want 10 email addresses a day, then you're going to have to be spending about $50 a day, And so you can start low, but your results are going to be low. And you're going to get the data of what images people liked slower. And it's just all going to be slower. So that's fine. So I would save up a little bit if you want to do Facebook ads. I would go, okay, here's my $500 or whatever it is. And I'm going to now spend 2 weeks and I'm going to spend all my money and I'm going to see what I get from that. Because then at least you've got some data, you've got something to work with, and you can go, okay, they really liked that headline, they didn't like that one, they liked that image, they didn't like that one. And then you can start putting the pieces together and going, great, my audience like this and this and this. So now I can now I know that if I put that out there, I'm going to get email addresses for X amount, and this is how much it's worth.
Okay, so let me stop you there because you mentioned comparing ads. They like this, they didn't like this.
Yeah.
So that means then that we've got to be putting out several different versions of the ad.
This is my favorite part.
Okay.
I really geek out on this stuff. So when we are running an ad, the top level is a campaign level. And then this is where we choose our objective. So this is where we say to Facebook, I want people to watch this video, or I want website traffic, or I want them to convert, or, there's maybe 10 options. And then the next level is the ad set level. And this is where we choose who we're showing it to and where we're showing them. So this is where we put our audience. We say we want to show them in the feed. We want to show them in the stories. We want it to be in a messenger. Where on Facebook do I actually want my ad, or Instagram? And then the ad level is your creative. So this is your image, your headline, and your text. So what I like to do with every campaign is I'll have one campaign, and the simple version is one ad set, and then I will create my ad, and then I will duplicate the ad. So I will have 3 ads. So I'll have one campaign, one ad set, and 3 ads underneath that.
Right.
So then the first thing I do is I test images. So I'll have 3 different images, but I will have the same everything else.
Right.
And then what you're looking for is a click-through rate that is higher than 1%.
Okay.
For a cold traffic ad. And out of those 3, Facebook will choose the winner. It will start to direct the money towards the one that is getting the best results, the cheapest results.
Right.
So I would test 3 very different images. So, for example, you might just test something that's super bright to get people's attention. It might be like a bunch of balloons. The second one would be something industry-based. So it might be your headshot or, depending on what you do, might be a picture of, if you're a builder, might be, a picture of you or a building or something, And then the third one would be a happy snap, like just a photo that you would put and expect to see in a normal personal newsfeed.
Right.
So they're 3 examples of really, really different. And the reason is we don't know what your audience is going to like. And the whole point of the image is to just get their attention, to stop them long enough to read the headline.
Right.
And so the reason you might have just a personal shot in there is because people will be scrolling and be like, oh, who are these people in my newsfeed that I don't know? They'll stop long enough to read the headline. They won't even realize it's an ad until they've read the headline, and then hopefully we've got them by then. So honestly, it doesn't matter what the image is. The whole point is to stop them scrolling.
Cool. Okay.
So then once we've tested the images, we'll have a winner based, we leave it to, say, 2,000 impressions. Am I giving too much details? Is too nitty gritty? You might just listen, rewind, and listen back again. It's lots and lots of data, lots of data. So leave it, say, 3 to 5 days. So leave it 3 to 5 days and see which one won. And then you will change your image, your 3 ads. You will have 3 versions of the ad with that, all with the winning image, and you will test different headlines. Mm-hmm. Because the headline needs to be like the juicy carrot that's getting them in. Like, this is the thing that they want. This is like the solution that you give them. This is where they read and they go, yes, I have to click that button. I have to know this. So that's what your headline is. And if you're kind of new to your space, or you've just started, working in this industry or with this offer, this is a great way to test, like, what's my lead magnet going to be? Or what's my program going to be called? What's my Facebook group going to be called? You can just test it by seeing what your people click on.
Right. Okay.
And you do the same process.
Right. Okay.
And then once you've got a winner for your headline, then you can test your text. And then you can test long text or short text, emojis, no emojis. So the process can go for a couple of weeks where you're just testing. And then you come up with the best solution. You go, great, my people like the image of me with the headline about the how to do this, and they like long copy that tells a story. Perfect. Now I know that's what my audience respond to, and now I can scale it. I don't need to spend $10 a day because I can spend whatever I want to spend, and I know that it's going to get a good response.
Fantastic. Okay. So that's a key thing then, testing. So you're not just guessing, you actually test it out.
Yeah, and take it to market. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Good. Okay, and then for someone who's just starting out, so first of all, where would they find that information to do the testing? So how do they go to the back end and find that information? What should they be looking at?
So they should be looking for Ads Manager. So when you log into Facebook, on the top right-hand side, there's like an upside-down pyramid, a tiny little upside-down pyramid. And if you click on that and scroll down, it will say Manage Ads. And so you need to go into Manage Ads. Then your name will pop up with your ad account, or you'll need to set one up. And once you've clicked on your name, you will be in the place where you can start to build this. The great thing is that Facebook have their own resource, the Facebook Blueprint, that will teach you and guide you on how to actually, the nitty gritty of what button to press and then what to do here, and so you can go through that.
Okay. Are you guided as you go?
No, I think it's a course. I haven't actually done it for a long time. I think it's like you read some information, and I mean, if it's. Some people look at it and they're like, this is numbers and data and I have no idea. And so start with that. Start with the Facebook Blueprint course. Have a bit of a hunt there before you start pushing buttons. But
Okay.
if you can start, if you're looking at this and going, okay, yep, I think I know, if you're feeling like you're okay with it, then you don't have to do their blueprint, but it's there and it's free. It's 100% free.
That's fantastic. That's a good resource then for
Yeah.
people who are just starting out, if you're wanting to try it for yourself. And then they can go in, have a play around, take the advice that you've been giving here on how to structure that campaign, and then do the remarketing part of it so that you're not selling straight away, you're giving value.
Yeah.
And then you can come back and you can target those people again. And then that's when you can hook them in, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Then you've established your authority, you've given them something, so there's a bit of reciprocity there already. And then they'll be more willing to give an email address because they loved that first article so much that of course they want this next thing. That's just the natural next step in the journey of getting to know you. So it helps a lot.
Wonderful. And then what would you say to someone who says, I don't want to spend money on Facebook ads, I can do this all on Facebook organically? What would your advice be there?
You can totally do it 100% organically, but it's slow. And you pay for the speed. You either invest in business generally, you're going to have to invest either your time or your money. And a lot of us do start off organically. Yeah, great, do it. And make if you're a service provider, then make it a high value offer. Be really strategic about who you're targeting and who you want to be speaking to, and get them into conversations as quickly as possible. Actual conversations like DMing. Get some one-on-one clients happening, which will give you some money to invest in ads so that you can scale. But then the great thing is
talking about the mindset of it, because for so long Facebook was virtually free, right? You didn't have to. They didn't used to have advertisements anyway, right? So, so that mindset of I don't have to pay because social media should be free, it just doesn't exist anymore, because
you do have to pay to play.
You have to pay to get eyeballs, basically, right?
You do have to pay to play. Your organic reach is going to be less than 10%, probably less than 10%. It's sad, but
it's a little bit like Google as well. Google ads, it's the same principle there, as you can organically list your website if you want to put all that work into it, and it is slower to do. You're not guaranteed to get onto the first page, etc. If you pay for Google ads, you'll be there straight away.
Yeah,
right. So it's the same idea. If it's you want speed, you have to pay for it, basically.
You do. But organic, when you're getting started, the organic way is a great way to determine what is working, because if you get into messaging with people, then you know what they're responding to, what they're not. So you know then when you run ads, what they're going to respond to and what they're not. So the
information from the market as to what they're interested in.
Exactly. So it's a place to start, but be prepared that it's going to be a hard slog, and it's going to take a lot of your hours. And if you have more time than money, then great. But there comes a point where the money becomes, less important than the time.
It makes sense then to pay to advertise.
Yeah.
Okay, Annelise, well, thank you so much for your insights on Facebook. This has been absolutely wonderful to hear from you. And just let me know where we can send people if they want to know more about you.
Sure. So my website is anneliseworn.com. I also have the Social Marketing Method Facebook group where I'm live every week doing training similar to this. And if I'm on Instagram, annelise.worn. It's probably the funnest place to hang out. I love Instagram. So come chat to me in the DMs. It'll be me responding.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I shall put that in my notes. I'll give some links in the notes as well to get to that.
Thanks so much.
Is that aeroplane going over you or me?
Not me. No aeroplanes here. I'm on the coast.
Okay, so thank you so much, Annelise. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, you're welcome.